Hi, just a quick Odyssey exclusive video. I'll make this a one-take jobby. I've got another safe for you, a really low-end one, but it's I guess a name brand. It's called a Burg Wachter. Really weird name. It's like Bird Watcher, but Burg Wachter. Those in my German viewers probably know Burg Wachter. They're like the sort of like, I would put this at the lowest end of the name brand safe market, right? So, yeah, it's not that great. It's like a real small little thing. I picked this up secondhand, but it came in the original box here, and you can go on the, the security levels that they got. I don't think this is internationally rated. No, I don't think so. But it only weighs 7.5 kilos. It's, it's a nothing burger, really. But let's actually have a look at this, because I thought, it might be interesting to have a look, like what would be the absolute bare bones, bottom of the range, name brand, in quote marks, safe, as opposed to the garbage that we've seen before. Now, I've actually already taken it apart. It's a real, oh, by the way, German company, but it is made in China. So there you go. But it's like inspected and stuff. It's going to be better than the hardware store rubbish, right? Slightly better. This is still not something that I would recommend, by the way, for a home security safe or something like that. But I'm going to show you how I think this is actually quite, substantially better, even though it's like really incredibly bare bones minimum cost, better than that Century Safe hardware store rubbish that we saw before. Okay, the front door is I think it's 6mm steel. So yeah, hang on, I've got my calipers here somewhere. Oh, 7.5. Anyway, it's got some paint on there. So, call it like a 6mm solid steel door on it. The hinge points down in here, they're not great, right? They're not super solid. And it acts, and the front door acts as a dog bar in there, like an anti-pry bar in there. There's no external hinges or anything like that. So, right off the bat, the door is better and more solid than the Century Safe. I believe this is only like 3mm steel. It does have bolt holes, a couple of bolt holes in the back and a couple on the bottom. I think if you pull up the felt, yeah, there they are. I think that looks like about 3mm, steel to me. And it's got like a spring thing in there as well, which automatically opens the door, because this is an electronic, it's an electronic lock. It's Burg Watcher's own design here. External batteries here, so obviously, it's like I was able to get this. Oh, well, no, it's screwed in the front panel with 4 self-tapping screws from the back here, so you could actually just smash this front off, and then you'd get access to the internal flat flex wiring for the display, and also for the buttons. The keypad there, and it looks like, I think the LCD might be no, that'd actually have its own. No, it's just, anyway, some sort of serial interface, doesn't matter. So, but you'd have access to that. And, of course, you'd have access to the battery. So I don't know about power line attacks and stuff like that. But I just wanted to show you this. So here's what inside looks like. So this will be bolted. So imagine these going through those slits there on the front, So you've got your ribbon cable coming through here and that coming through there. So just imagine that. In fact, I will try and get this puppy working for you. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You can have up to 8 digits. Pass 1, 2. Oh, this is the master code. It'll tell us what the code is. 1, 2, 3. Oh, okay. Whoa, and it slid back. There you go. So if I close it, okay, I have to edit this. There we go. It closed. Okay. Yeah. So it's got this little motor in here, which enter 1, 2, 3. Boom, and it just retracts that back, okay? So right off the bat, a magnetic attack is not going to get this, because it's an actual motor. It's not just a solenoid, okay? So, and there's the PCB down there for those playing along at home. But yeah, so right off the bat, no magnetic attacks, anything like that. Yes, we've got holes in the front case here, but they've it looks like that they've really catered for. You can see down here, right? this is your slot down here that your coat hanger would get through, right? This is one of your holes. Or it'd have it over, we'll have a look at the key in a minute. There is a key override. But anyway, and it comes through here. So they've actually punched this up so that you can't, you can get the coat hanger around the side there, but I'm not seeing how you would actually be able to physically get that and pull that, because I can't actually do that, right? So to get into this thing, you need the key override, okay, which you do this by taking out the batteries, and then you can actually get access through the key slot down here like this, okay? So these keys are actually, once again, they're better, right? I won't show you the code on these, but these are these star pointed ones. Now I have seen these are Burg Wachter keys. I don't know if that's I don't think it's their particular design, but anyway, I have seen the lockpicking lawyer pick these types of cross. I think they call them like cross keys or something like that, cross locks or whatever. There's probably another industry term for it. I don't know, but I've seen him pick these. But he's used a very specific tool for the job, an actual cross lock, pick, which you can actually get. You can just order them on AliExpress or wherever from your regular locksmith suppliers or whatever. So you can actually pick these things. It's not too hard. It didn't take him long, but he had to have the specific tool, okay? So you're not going to get in there with your regular raking tool. So right off the bat, this is much better. And you actually have to rotate this to the correct position. So once it's in there, I can actually get in there and pull that. Oh, no, it's already, sorry. Yeah, I got to extend this actually. You can't actually close it back with that. So I've got to push closed. And then if I turn it, I can actually pull that back. But it's a very, really stiff action to actually do it. So, getting a coat hanger in there and sort of being able to pull this thing back, I'm just not seeing it. So I have tried, and getting a coat hanger into there, sure, you might be able to get it up through there like that and hook it, and hooking it around there, but you just, you can't. It doesn't, it doesn't do it. The angle, this arm going straight like this, you have to disengage. It's effectively locked in place by the key. So it's basically, impervious to a coat hanger attack. Now, of course, you might be able to access the solenoid, the motor wires are over here. So the motor wires on this side, you're not going to be able to access those. And yes, this is actually, this plate is actually screwed into the front, and it does actually have a protective thing on the back as well. So it's not like you can go through, and access, drilling the side or something and access it. But once again, you could get into this thing, easy, right? It weighs 7 kilos. It's nothing. You pick it up, you carry it away, you smash into it. Really easy. But and this won't be susceptible to bumping attacks either. So this is actually, a decent step up from just by paying hardly anything more to get this minimum name brand. Once again, this is not like a high-end safe brand, but Burg Wachter are at least reputable, and they do actually make higher-end safes that actually, this is one of their businesses, one of their key businesses, and they make these safes, and it looks like they've actually done a pretty good job into this on this. So I can't actually use any of the techniques I used into the 5 ways to crack the previous safe. Of course, the master, one of them was the master code and stuff like that. Yeah, you could get in there if somebody forgot to change the master code as well. So this has a user code and a master code. But you can reprogram the master code as well. So if you reprogram both of these, you're really just going to have to smash into this thing. It's unless you've got the exact picking tool for the, maybe you can get in, you can smash your way in. You can physically, you might be able to punch, if you punch this out with a, hammer. But the point is, there aren't really any, that I can see at this stage, any ways to get into this without, a brute force attack. Or maybe, decoding the, do a side channel power line attack or something like that and decoding it that way. I'm not going to go into that. I don't think I'll go into that sort of detail on this. But anyway, I just thought it'd be interesting to see what's like inside this. And this is actually just by doing a few simple things, like, you know, having the straight arm on, using a better quality key for a start, right? That, you know, your average person with their little, you know, your average thief with their little, you know, lock-picking kit with their raking tool and everything else, right? They're not going to be able to pick this, I don't think, anyway. Yeah, you know, they're going to have to physically break it off, smash it in with a hammer, or, yeah, I don't even think you could break that with a really large screwdriver and a ratchet arm. Maybe, you know, if you had a big ratchet arm and a thing, you could put it in there, maybe. I don't know. But yeah, like it's a significant step up from that cheap ass Century safe we saw. It's chalk and cheese for hardly any extra. Well, no, it might be double the price. I don't know, you know, depends what you get it for. You know, it might be $200 instead of $100, right? But it's still a cheap ass safe. But just doing simple stuff like using a motor instead of a solenoid, having you know, using a different type of key, having like a proper arm so that, you know, a stiff arm like this, so that even the coat, avoiding the coat hanger attacks and stuff like that. Yeah, and I can't see, like, there's no reset switch or anything like that you can access and get in there. I don't like the solenoid. I keep saying solenoid. The motor wires are all the way over this side, so you'd have to, like, you know, this is the access holes over here. So really, you know, I don't see like getting in there as a thing. Really, yeah, you'd have to, you know, easy, trivial to brute force your way into this still, but those techniques I showed before, they don't seem to be valid on this thing. So I think, you know, Burg Wachter have done it for a cheap-ass, you know, really cheap-ass, nothing weight safe. They've actually done a pretty reasonable job on this. For the price, I'm actually impressed. But once again, I do not recommend cheap-ass safes like this. They're just an absolute waste of time, really. I'd recommend, you know, 6 to 10 millimeters, well, probably, you know, 10 millimeter solid steel door, 10 millimeter solid steel case, and like as an absolute minimum. And then a quality, reputable brand. Once again, if you've got a proper Burg Wacher's fine. Like if you want to get a higher end Burg Wachter or something like that, but not one of these little, you know, this is only 3 mil, you know, mild steel or something. So yeah, but still, they've done a reasonable job on that. So I hope you like that. Just, you know, looking at the differences between, you know, just stepping up, spending an extra $50 in parts or something, you know, spend an extra $50 in material cost or something. That's all it takes to actually turn it into a, you know, a half reasonable, like sort of entry level 7 kilo, you know, sub 10 kilo carry away safe. So I don't know if you can see anything obvious that I've missed another way into this, like a non-brute force way into this thing, then leave it in the comments. I don't know if I'll try and do a power line analysis, you know, snoop it out, see if there's anything there, but probably not. I mean, not without going to a great deal of engineering effort in any case, which, but yeah, anyway, I thought that was interesting. Leave your thoughts and comments down below. Catch you next time.